Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Rick here. Those that don't know, it's about 10 minutes to, what is it, 9 o'clock East Coast time. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so very much for being here. Appreciate it. All right, so let's take a vote. Who would just simply call today off? I'm sure some people would. And I'm sure some people would love just to keep doing what the market is doing. So I guess really there's going to be some for all sides, right? So Friday I wasn't here. And ouch, the market just really broke down. I had those XLF puts and I sold them using my phone. You guys all know how I hate to trade by my phone, but in St. Louis at the doctor's office, using your phone to trade, sometimes you have to break your rules. One rule I have, it's XLK I had, not XLF. There we go, XLK. Yeah, I don't really like trading by the phone, but it worked out. It was really nice. Okay, so here's the thing about the market. There's it's no good for the bulls right now. Okay, if you're a bull, you need to stop for a second and regroup here. You really do. What's missing on my chart? I just realized it. There we go. Just realized I've been looking at this all morning long. What is missing from my chart? I just realized it. So my personal feeling about the market is that we go lower. I really do think so. I do think that we're going to see relief rallies along the way. Absolutely. But overall, sellers have control. So this is a time where you have to maybe stop and tell yourself, don't be a hero. Don't be a stickler for being a bull. Don't be a stickler for, oh, we're going to go back to 500 up here. We could 3 years from now. But in the meantime, you'll go broke trying to play that game. I'm very adamant. When the dots are green, I'm bullish. When the dots are red, I'm bearish. You've got some big earnings coming up this week. The FANG stocks report. And I just can't imagine that they are going to report anything positive. And even if they do, right now, I just cannot imagine that the market is going to take it well. Now, I'm not usually so bearish. I'm really not. I'm one of these guys that, I see everything moving higher. But I can't argue with the charts. You just simply can't argue with the charts. So right now, we're below the price is below the T-line. T-line's below the trend indicator. We're below the 50-period moving average. The weekly chart is a blue ice failure up here. The next downside, look, there's a whole lot of trading that's just simple common sense. And what we look for are those bases, those, we call them support levels. It absolutely means nothing unless price agrees with that. What we see is one thing. What price sees is another thing. We can see by past trading that we've got some lows down here. And this area could turn out to be support. Very possible. It could turn out to be something, whoops, did that wrong. Here we go. It could turn out to be a little bit of a bounce, which I would not be surprised, to tell you the truth. Going from the 200-period moving average up here, failing a new high. We're moving down into this territory here. I do think that we start to bounce from this area, which would give us a relief rally bounce. Now, the problem is, do we bounce 1 day or 20 days? Now that you don't know. That we have to follow price. So as we start moving down and getting into this area, I want to be very cautious about what shorts I'm holding, because you don't want those shorts just to bang on this area and then you lose your money in here. So I'll be watching that. Also, I'm not convinced we're stopping here. And if I'm wrong, great. If I'm wrong, fantastic. I'm going to go to a weekly chart. There we go. It's easier to see. I'm looking at under 400, 395. And I do not think that is a horrible number. I have a hard time seeing the chart stopping it there, to tell you the truth, but I do see us heading there. If we come over here, what date is this? February 20, late February 2020, and then in here, what is that? Late August 2020, somewhere right in here maybe. There's October 2020. This is what I see as what I would call really good support. Again, if price does not work with that, then it's not going to work. So I do see support up here, but this is where I really see it. And nobody wants to think about it. That would be a horrible number to get down to. And keep in mind, any movement to the downside, we are going to get relief rallies. We absolutely are. The market is just not going to, I don't believe it is anyway, it's just not going to tear to the downside. This is where timing is important. And this is also where stepping back and really seriously evaluating the market comes in. And yeah, so sorry to take so long with that. Probably spent way too much time there. T2122, if you're a follower of that one, you can see that we're down here in the oversold area. So a bounce is possible. It is. I mean, I'm going to look for a bounce here for sure. Doesn't mean it's going to be today. Doesn't mean it's going to be tomorrow. Doesn't mean it's going to be Wednesday. We don't know that precisely what day. We'll watch the price action. If it starts to cross up above the T line, then that's one thing I'm going to look for. Now, you could certainly get candlesticks down here. Might even get a couple before we get through the T line, but that's where I'm going to look to be, to call it a bullish reversal bounce. And then, of course, I'm going to be looking for the trend indicator here. So we'll keep an eye on that. UVXY. Well, let's just take a look at the VIX here. VIX. Here we go. The VIX popped up big time Friday. We're now up over the 50-period moving average, and you can see the trend of what the VIX is doing here. There we go. You see that big old trend that we're putting in. Now, the top is a little different, I guess, just because it's choppier. We get to the top and it gets choppy up here, but the bottom seemed to be pretty strong, pretty adamant, pretty much this is the bottom, we're going up. And then as it goes up, it gets sloppy moving up. But you can see how that's starting to trend. Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that. What else? Let's just look at some charts here. So one thing we want to keep an eye on is don't chase, waking up this morning or going to bed last night, licking your chops thinking that you're going to make a ton of money on bearish trades. You certainly can. You don't want to chase them. You don't want to. You don't want to be there. So take the SPY again. We've been down 1 day, 2 days, really big. We might not be down so big today. It may chop around a little bit today. So this is what we want to be careful of, is not, our excitement and, yeah, just too early. just leave it at that, too early, at the wrong time. All right, let's take a look at NXP. This is on my watch list for a short. So you can see how this has failed the 50-period moving average, the 50-period moving average up here. So what we might be looking for is pre-market here. It's giving us a little hammer. Maybe, let me make that smaller. No, it's being argumentative here. There we go. Maybe it does rally up a little bit. Well, let's watch for that sell signal in there and see if we can't push this down a little bit more. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Looking at the weekly chart, you can see the blue ice failure here, and you see the 200s, the 200 sisters down here, brothers, cousins, whatever you want to call them. Dotted deuce, 200 period moving average. I think those are still viable targets on in XPI. Oh yeah, watch out for earnings. Watch out for earnings. You don't want to be stuck in something. Earnings pop up on you, and you wish. Let's put it this way: if you trade through earnings, you don't have the right to say, "Dang it, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't know about that." You don't get to say that, because as a trader, that's one of the things you have to know: wins, earnings, and make that decision. Yes, I'm going to trade through earnings, or no, I'm not going to trade through earnings. Okay, so here's another one. City's not doing so great. That's still looking like a short. Let's start with the weekly first. Here's the weekly chart. You can see how we have failed up into here, failed the 200 period moving average, failed the dotted deuce. We're putting in a pop out of the box, bearish pop out of the box here. So look at all that chop and nonsense over here. Where's it going to go to? I'm just going to put a line right here. If all it gets to is maybe fill that gap right there, that's okay too. Let's put those back to the daily. So we're going to watch for a sell signal in here. Lin is another one that is still in a downtrend. Let's get that out of there. Still in a downtrend. Nothing has changed about it. You still have these, relief rallies and down. Why does that keep getting big? Driving me crazy. I have two of them. That's why. That was on me. So we have these relief rallies, back down, relief rally, back down, relief rally, back down, relief rally, back down. Nothing changes. So for all the bottom pickers out there, look. For a bottom to change course, we could actually use Lin here as an example. We do have a low, and we do have a high, and we do have a higher low. That is true. I don't see how you can be long until you break out of this area right here. But all the bottom pickers get in here, and this is what the short sellers dream about right here. It really is what the short sellers dream about. Let's see. There we go. So buyers come in thinking they have a bottom. Short sellers come in and tell them, "Oh no, you don't," because you don't. And short traders are correct. The long traders are the ones that's incorrect. You don't have a bottom here, because a bottom requires a low, high, higher low, higher high. And what that will do is give you that trend. You need that trend. At bare minimum, you need that right there. So don't get sucked into this. Oh, you're going to catch some tiger by the tail down here and make buku's money. I'll make $100 bet with anybody. Anybody that buys here, picking the bottom, you're the person that's going to sell right here. You just get scared. Even though you look at the chart, yeah, boy, I'm going to catch that, and I'm going to make all kinds of money. Excuse me. I'll make you $100 bet. You're not that person. I'll make you $100 bet. You buy down here, you're selling right here. There's no point in it because there's so much resistance up here. Sorry, I'm getting way off track here. How about Oracle? And I really want to be long Oracle. I truly, truly do. Very disappointed in Oracle here. It was set up for a nice rounded bottom breakout, but it has failed. And right now, outside of a relief rally, I'm looking for more downside, because that's what the trend is doing right now. The trend is down here. All right. Microsoft, we're not going to make it through all these. Microsoft, I believe, is one that reports this week, tomorrow, I guess. So I have no idea if they're going to report good. I don't know if they're going to report bad. I really don't know. And I have no clue how the market is going to take it. What I do know is that time after time after time, and there is the time that this is not right. There really is those times that we have the chart pattern here is giving us a bearish H pattern. So right now I have to be short. Now I'm not going to trade this through earnings. But if somebody is looking at Microsoft, because Microsoft is one of those charts that where you know, how can Microsoft go wrong? You know, it's one of those big daddy companies, and I believe it is. So for somebody that's looking long here, thinking Microsoft's going to report good, move up, or Microsoft's going to report good, and the market is going to think it's good, okay. But why would you go against a chart pattern that has proven to not be a bullish chart pattern? And what would be the harm in waiting till it broke out above this level to be long? And that's the correct level to be long, not down here. That's the correct level. So if somebody is determined to be long, here's one long for you, Twitter. If you're not afraid to buy Twitter, Twitter is still long. I said last week that I'm not one that's going to bet against Elon Musk. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that. I will bet with him. Maybe there's too much drama right now. That's the problem I have. But boy, Twitter is one that I'm looking at big time here for a long. SQQQ. If you're looking at shorting the Qs and you're looking to be long SQQ, this would be what to look at maybe as an idea. Now I recognize there's all kinds of resistance up here, and I'm not saying it's a buy right now. I'm waiting for the setup. If you don't know what the setup is, you need to come into the hit and run candlesticks or the right way options trading room, because this is what we look at. Something very simple, very, very short on that is we're going to look for a pullback, and then we're going to look for buying. That's one way. Another way is we're going to look for a breakout, and then we're going to look for a pullback, and then we're going to look for buying. So there's two ways, sort of broad, that we will look for this as a long. I do not believe it is a long right here as an entry, but I do believe it's a long chart. Yeah, we're about done. Okay. Hey, good luck, everybody. Oh, one more thing. There's long, there's short, and there's cash. Okay. Cash is a position. If this is not your market, if you think this market is over your head, you don't have to trade. You can be in cash, okay? Major earnings this week, crazy earnings this week. And it's not the kind of earnings that I think I want to bet on. Maybe the company's report is good, but in this crazy market, the market may not think it's good. So anyway, we'll see everybody in a few minutes, okay? Thanks a bunch for being here, and hope you all had a great weekend. Take care.